Okay, folks, here we are. We got a chance now to catch up with the 95i bike of Aaron Tree, and Aaron's been nice enough to give us a bit of a rundown on what a sidecar is. So, for those people that are at home that don't know what a sidecar is, Aaron, give us a wee bit of a description of what your interpretation of a sidecar would be.
My interpretation, bike with 3 wheels, 1000cc motor, and no brakes.
So tell me, why no brakes?
Just not allowed them. The rule book says.
Okay, so is that to try and keep the speeds down, or is it to try? Is it dangerous to have brakes? Could it cause a lock-up?
My personal opinion, yeah, it can cause a lock-up, cause an accident if someone hits the brakes going in the corner. But they've always been no brakes, ever since they first come out years ago. You can stop a sidecar pretty quick. If you have to stop it to avoid an accident, you can. If you're onto it, you can stop it really fast.
And is that where you see them throwing them sideways to sort of like a pair of roller skates, basically? You throw it sideways to stop them. Is that the similar sort of theory?
Yep, similar theory. You throw it sideways, let it bite in, and it'll do it. Same as like on a solo when you drop the bike. If you're in a sticky situation, you drop the bike down. On a sidecar, you just go for sideways and stand on the chair wheel and let it stop.
Okay, so tell us a bit about the different frames that are floating around. Obviously, there's quite a few of them. So what do you run, and what's some of the other ones we can expect to see here today?
Yep, well, I'm running Stinger, built in Hastings. Very nice bike. Around here also you've got a mixture of South Coast Customs, Dylan Muhan from Auckland, he built one, a Mitch, you've got some genuine Mitchell bikes here. Basically there's a whole variety. Then you've got some old school, some ones that are quite a few years old. The differences between them is minute, but depending on who's riding it is the difference.
But of course, I would imagine that the guys that got the older frames are obviously a bit heavier, and it's all about lightness and strength, is it?
Yep. A lot of them, like some people when they first build them, they just make them out of mild steel. A lot of them now are made out of chrome moly. The minimum weight's 180 kgs, but some of them can weigh up to 250 kgs.
Okay, so they always refer to a thing called a third wheel. What's that about?
The third wheel, the wheel on the side, doesn't drive, follows its own track, and basically, yeah, it can help you spin around. It can help you get around the corner, or it can help you go around the circles.
Okay, so tell me, with the way you set a bike up, is it what do you do to make adjustments to get a bike to go around corners? Is it air pressures, or what do you do?
A mixture of things. You can change the air pressures. Your side wheel, you can drop it or raise it. Your back wheel, you can move it backwards and forwards. Your front wheel, some bikes you can move the hoop backwards and forwards. You can raise the bike up and down. There's a whole heap of different things you can do to make changes. But if you do too many changes, you don't know what you've done to make it go better.
Okay, so that's enough about sidecars. Obviously, we've covered pretty much everything. So tell me, yourself, you've been out for a couple of runs now. How's the bike feeling?
Yeah, no, bike feels good. No, we're out here today. Everyone's out here to be number one, but we're sort of out here just to have a bit of fun, play with the new bike. We've only done this our 4th meeting on it. We've come from Palmerston North. Very happy with it. The guy like Mike Zahn that built it, he's done a lot of work on it, and it's amazing. I can't fault it in any way.
Okay, well, anything left really to do now is to say who your sponsors and wish you some luck.
Sponsors, main sponsor Newfield Autos, Harlan Brothers Logging, Wilbur Ellis, Done Right Decorating, the Pitts Motorsport TV, Top Line Speedway Supplies, Osborne Engineering Bluff, K&D Automotive, Southern Ocean Safety and Bluff, Aidan Barron Builders and Advantage Signs.
Okay, folks, here we are, the 2016 New Zealand Sidecar Championships, and we've got a chance to catch up with Alistair and Richard Horn. So you guys, you've obviously come down here for one thing and one thing only. How's the mindset?
Yeah, it's pretty good at the moment, like pretty relaxed, and practice went pretty well, so it's pretty good, eh?
Okay, so obviously you have done a couple of laps around here today already. The bike's feeling okay, you're feeling okay?
Yeah, feeling quite fit and healthy, and yeah, the bike's going pretty good too. That's
good. And so, New Zealand champion from last year, been enjoying wearing the crown for the season?
Yeah, it's been awesome, eh? It'd be even better to back it up another year, but we can only try, and that's what we're down here to try and do.
Absolutely, and of course, mate, 45 other sidecars here, well, 44 including your own. What have you done to psych yourself up ready for this?
Oh, we're just going to go out there and see how we go, and just take every race as it comes.
I see you guys have a lot of words, eh? So, but that's okay, you're allowed to be like that. But I suppose the only thing we really want to do is make sure we get your sponsors out there. So who looks after you on the bike?
Machinery specialist, Bill Trucking and Stringfellows especially, and Agri Fencing and Development, and all the crew that have come down with us this year to help out, especially our older brother, and they're all bloody good.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I tell you what, do us a favour. If you get one NZ again, can you come up with some better speeches?
Well, we can only try, yeah.
Best of luck, guys, and we look forward to seeing it.
Sweet.
Okay, folks, here we are at the New Zealand Sidecar Championships for the 2016 season here at Oreti Park Speedway. One of the officials that are here is, of course, Greg Stewart. Now, Greg, what will we be looking for today? Obviously looking for a nice, clean sailing for the New Zealand title.
Yeah, all going well. It should be. I was just watching the practice here before. Very clean, track's looking good. So and there's a lot of horsepower here too.
And has it been something you've been looking forward to doing? I mean, this event is obviously a prestigious event when it comes to sidecar racing in this country. Is it something you've been looking forward to being a part of?
Yeah, too right. I got asked about 2-3 years ago to come down and do the under 21 solos. First time I'd ever done bikes, and I tell you what, I've thoroughly enjoyed it down here, and this is going to be the pinnacle of it tonight.
Absolutely. Now tell me, you obviously do cars a lot, so to get yourself prepared for this, what did you do?
Read the rule book. It's about all you can do.
Now, was that the North Island rule book or the South Island rule book?
SNZ one.
You got to ask that question, don't you?
Yeah.
Alrighty, mate. Hey, well, let's hope everything goes well for you, and well, welcome to Oreti Park Speedway, and let's make sure you have a ripper, eh?
We will do. Cheers, Jason. All the best to your team.
Okay, so we are here with Katie Taylor. She's doing a bit of double duty today. She's trying to keep an eye on the racing as well as sell the New Zealand Sidecar T-shirts, because it is going to be a pretty full-on weekend at the Southern Bolts and Fasteners New Zealand Sidecar title, eh?
Yeah, definitely. We've already sold out of a couple of T-shirts. We've got some orders coming through, so that's a bit exciting.
And have you got a particular bike that you'd like to win this weekend?
Would have to be definitely the Pink Ladies, as they need to show the boys how it's done.
And they come out here before, and as I said to Graham over there, a big ups goes to them, because they have loaned their bike to a couple of guys that have flown down from Auckland. Their bike got damaged in the practice, so the Pink Ladies is your pick.
Yes, definitely.
Well, would you like to wish them a massive good luck while we've got the camera stuck in your face?
Hell yes. Good luck, girls.
This for the qualifying for the New Zealand Sidecar Champs, sponsored by Southern Bolts and Fasteners. Alongside me here today, wait till he gets his headphones on, Warwick Costangia. Welcome along, Warwick, and great to have you back again to give me a hand to get through this two-day meeting. I'm sure we'll have to watch how we talk to each other and not abuse ourselves too much.
Anyway, they're rolling.
Start rolling out the gate. The 1NZ, Richard and Alistair Horn from Palmerston North. 3NZ, Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox from Moore Park. The 4K bike of Dave Gannon and Raymond George from Kiki. The 6A, which is racing under 26A, those are the bike that had a malfunction. That's going to be on the 8. They will be on the 85 bike. That's Peter Adams and Jason Hera. They're all the way from Rosebank in Auckland.
6P, Derek and Matthew Ramsey, father and son team from Palmerston North. From Nelson, we have Knuckle Hill and Sean Solly on the 7N bike. 8N, Nathan Ching and Shay McWilliam from Nelson as well. Then back down here, we've got 11, Fraser and Johnny Gillespie from Oreti. 14K from up on the North Island, Jamie Moon and Jacob Cooper from Kiki. 16, your boys, Jason Harper and Mark George from Oreti, as is 17, Grant Lightfoot and Phil Rooney.
The 17N bike, which will have 27N as the number. This is a bit confusing for us, but anyway, that's the way it is. That's Daniel Southerly and Kyle Ball from Nelson. The 17P, which is actually 77P, is Tony Hislop and Mitch Byers from Palmerston North. The 18C, no introduction needed here. Wayne Bryce and Damien Bryce from Moore Park. Stalwarts racing here at Oreti Park. Good to see those boys in here today. The 19I of Scott Ado and Dylan Carney at Oreti Park. The 21P, Glenn Murray and Ann Plummer from Palmerston North. The 22I, Daniel Harper, Brad Waddock from Oreti Park.
The 23C riding as 53 today, Ben Morris and John Erskine from Moore Park. 23 from your hometown heroes here, Kevin McDonald and Carl Hosey. 24 from Christchurch racing as 74 today is Corey Lang. This is a wee misprint there, Lang and Luke Elliott from Moore Park. 24 from Oreti, Bradley Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat. 28 from Christchurch, Paul Anderson and Nick Case representing Ruapuna. 29 from Christchurch, another father and son team, Jason and Brandon Riley from Moore Park racing as 39C today.
The 29 bike of Luke Twaits and Neville Chalmers from Oreti Park. The 32 bike, Jamie Pocklet and Nathan Cannon, Oreti Park. The 34 bike, Jason Kennedy, Johnny Casey, Oreti Park. The 43 bike, Craig McMaster, James Dawson, Oreti Park. The 44 bike, James Douglas, Ricky Pubbin, Oreti Park. The 47N bike of 80 Drake and Kieran Southerly from Nelson. The 48 bike of Sean Kerr and Robin Poole from Oreti Park.
54 from Christchurch, from Moore Park, Bevan Nuttridge and Carl Foster. 58 Oreti Park, Aidan Thwaites and Shane Twiss. The 64N is Sam Southerly and Tony McKenzie from Nelson. The 71A bike is Tim and Sion Plummer from Rosebank. 72I, your own Chris Early and Nathan Davies. With 73 coming from Moore Park, Lionel Green and Shane Breach.
The 78P, Paul Humphreys and Patrick Larson from Palmerston North. The 84 bike of Stan Ross and Chris Leedon from Oreti Park. Claire Hartnell, Tracy Davison, Oreti Park. 86, Ricky Kane and Broden Johnson, Oreti Park. The 88 bike, Josh Wells and Regan Feck, Oreti Park. The 95 bike of Irwin Tree and Nigel Cookow, Oreti Park. From Moore Park, Michael Warwood and Stephen Burrow, the 96 bike. And the 98 bike of Clint Warwood and Sonia Duncan from Ruapuna.
Right, we've got Sam's ready, got the stopwatch and all, got the pen, all the grids. He's ready to go. So we're waiting for them to come in. It's 22, Daniel Harper, Brad Waddock down there on gate 1. They're in line. On the outside, 96, Michael Warwood, Stephen Burrow from Moore Park. They're there. Jamie Moore and Jacob Cooper are sitting ready to go. We're just waiting for James Douglas and Ricky Pubbin to come in. And Pete will take you away with the first heat. Southern Bolts and Fasters Sidecar qualifying.
Tapes up, they're underway for the 14 bike, Jamie Moon and Jacob Cooper from Key. They got a pretty good start there. They're the first ones out of turn 2 as they head down the straight. The 22 of Daniel Harper, Brad Waddock sitting there in second place. In third place is James Douglas, Ricky Pubbin, and further back we go to Mike Warwood and Stephen Burrows. Through they come for the first time. It's the 14 bike from Key. Jamie Moon and Jacob Cooper leading the way, hot on their tail. Daniel Harper, Brad Waddock, and then we've got James Douglas and Ricky Pubbin that have closed up on them a little bit. There's pretty not much between them in these first 3 as they come out of turn 3 and 4. Back down into turns 1 and 2 through the Rogers Yamaha turn they go. Still Jamie Moon and Jacob Cooper from Kihiki leading the way, but Daniel Harper, Brad Waddock look to slip up the inside of them as they go through turns 3 and 4 once again. Out they come, the white flag comes out, bring them home, Warren.
Yes, so it's Moen and Cooper from Kiki leading them through that Permacoat roofing turn. They've got a comfortable lead of about 3 bike lengths at this stage from the 22 of Harper and Waddock. Struggling a wee bit in this first heat has been Douglas and Pubbin, but they're holding that third place. But the first one goes to 14. Jamie Moen and Jacob Cooper come home ahead of the field. Second place, 22 from Oreti Park, Daniel Harper and Brad Waddock. And 44, James Douglas and Ricky Pubbin taking out that third spot. So 14K, Jamie Moen taking the win over 22 Harper and 44 Douglas.
Unfortunate for Mike Warwood and Stephen Burrows. They ended up going infield down there in turns 3 and 4, so obviously a bit of a problem there with those boys. Right, heat 2 of the sidecars, round 1 of the Southern Bolts and Fasteners New Zealand sidecar qualifying. Claire Hartnell, Tracy Davison, the 85 bike in gate 1. Josh Wells and Regan Feck from Australia, they're in gate 2, racing under the Oreti colours, of course. In gate 3, Grant Lightfoot, Phil Rooney on the 17 bike, and the 34 bike of Jason Kennedy and Johnny Casey are in gate 4. So it's an all Oreti heat, this one, Warwick.
It certainly is. The starters are happy. The revs, but off they go. And who's it going to be? It looks like it's the 88 bike of Josh Wells and Regan Fleck. Get to the turn first, pushing them pretty hard. Kennedy and Casey on the 34 machine. The pink ladies are sandwiched in the middle there, but still holding that third spot from the 17 of Grant Lightfoot and Phil Rooney. Oh, just a little bit untidy there is the Wells. He's struggling to control it. Can he stay on the track? He does. But it's Jason Kennedy, John Casey who've made the most of it and gone round the outside. They take over the lead at this stage. Wells still sitting in that second position, and the pink ladies, Claire Hartnell, Tracy Davison in that third spot as they come round.
So Jason Kennedy, Johnny Casey leading the way here. Josh Wells, Regan Feck, after a bit of a hairy ride, still sitting there in that second spot with Claire Hartnell. Tracy Davison still there in third with Grant Lightfoot, and Phil Rooney still there in that fourth place. There's one lap left to run. It's still Jason Kennedy and Johnny Casey. They've got that handy lead over Josh Wells and Regan Feck as they come out of turns 1 and 2. Once again, Grant Lightfoot slips underneath Claire Hartnell and Tracy Davison and moves up into that third position as they come through turns 3 and 4. But make no bones about it, Jason Kennedy, Johnny Casey will take the win from Josh Wells and Regan Feck in that second position, and the 17 bike of Grant Lightfoot and Phil Rooney will take that third place. Claire Hartnell, Tracy Davison finishing there in that fourth position.
Well, I think you take your hands off to Josh Wells and Regan Fleck. They struggled with that bike, getting it all out of shape and out of balance there, and managed to get it back down on the ground, stay on the track. They did lose the first place, but that's better than not finishing at all, Pete, because it certainly looked like they could be heading infield.
For all money, I thought they were going to go infield, so a great bit of control from Josh Wells and Regan Feck to actually stay on the track. I don't think they even went anywhere near the pole line, which is a bit of a blessing in disguise for those guys. Well, it's all action here. The 6th bike, which is the 26A, they were supposed to be racing under Peter Adams and Jason Heary. You see them down here on the infield, rapidly fueling that bike of Claire Hartnell and Tracy Davidson's, and they are going to be riding that in this heat 3 of the sidecars in round 1.
Well, that's a great sportsmanship, and I hope you people here at Oreti Park appreciate what Claire Hartnell and Tracy Davison are doing and loaning their bike to these boys from up north. As we said, they had a malfunction there in the practice there. Oil pump drive came to grief, and they had seized their motor. So these girls are going to land the boys the bike. Just it's a little bit unfortunate that the both heats are one behind the other, Pete.
Yeah.
Hopefully the old girl doesn't overheat too much.
So they're lining up. Pete Stenning, Joe Hughes getting them all sorted here. Tapes are ready to go. The tapes are up, they're underway. Who gets the best of it? Looked like the 72 bike of
No, it's the girls' bike.
It looked there, it was with Pete Adams and Jason here from Rosebank that come out in front. In that second place, it's Dave Gannon, Raymond George. Then we've got Chris Early, Nathan Davis, who got a fairly good start, but they got it overhauled as they come through. Then the 32 bike of Jamie Pocklington and Nathan Cannon sitting in that fourth position. But make no bones about it, it's the 85 bike that is leading the way here. Pete Adams and Jason Hera, along with Chris Early, Nathan Davis in that second place, and in the Kihi combination, Dave Gannon, Raymond George sitting there in third place.
Well, off they go, and they've certainly got this bike running pretty sweetly. A big challenge for second place now as David Gannon, Raymond George move up. Bit of smoke coming out of that Chris Early, Nathan Davies bike, but the chase is on now as we've got one lap to go. It's the Peter Adams and Jason Herrera riding the 85 bike out in front. They've only got about 3 bike lengths over Gannon and George at this stage as they come round the turn, out of the right turn for the last time. A bit of a close one here, but they do it. So here Tracy Davidson will be jumping up and down to see that bike has come home ahead of the field. 26A riding the 85 bike. Peter Adams, Jason Herrera have come home first from 4K. David Gannon and Raymond George. If we go back to the 72 bike of Chris Earl and Nathan Davies from Oreti, and rounding out the field is the 32, Jamie Pogington and Nathan Cannon.
Right, Southern Bolts and Fasters, Sidecars, Heat 4. The 43 of Craig McMaster and James Dawson. It will be in Gate 1. That's the Oreti boys. Another Oreti combination. Stan Ross, Chris Leedon will go into Gate 2. Scott Ado, Dylan Carney from Oreti in Gate 3. And then on the outside here in Gate 4, the 54 bike of Bev Nuttridge and Carl Foster.
Well, McMaster and Dawson sitting down there, they're ready. Then Stan Ross, Chris Leedon come in. Ato and Carney are sitting there as well. The last one in on the outside. Bevan Nuttridge, Carl Foster. The revs build up. Tapes go up. Who's it going to be? Nuttridge got a good start from the outside, but it's McMaster. Moves across to the middle of the field and leads the way out of the turn. Nuttridge is briefly holding second, but there's Stan Ross moving up. Then we've got Ato now on Nuttridge's tail as they keep it nice and tight through that first turn. But 43, Craig McMaster, James Dawson, they've shot away. They've made a break on the rest of the field. Stan Ross, Chris Leedon coming under a bit of pressure from Bevan Nuttridge and Carl Foster, but they haven't got the momentum to get around. Tucked in behind is Scott Ato and Dylan Carney. Persisting and going out a little bit wider as Nuttridge as he scoots along the wall here. But McMaster's, they've gone like a rubber's dog. He's gone away. They've left the rest of the field behind, Pete.
So Craig McMaster, James Dawson, look at this handy lead they've built up. Stan Ross, Chris Leedon still there in that second place. Looks like Scott Ado, Dylan Carney are going to come in underneath Bevan Nuttridge and Carl Foster and take that third place. So Bevan Nuttridge goes back to fourth place. Scott Ado, Dylan Carney look to put a bit of pressure on Stan Ross for the second place too as they head down into the Talking Heads here turn. But make no bones about it, Craig McMaster, James Dawson will take the win. It's a drag line to the finish. Oh, I'd hate to call that one. We'll leave that one up to the judges, I think. Or can we watch the replay? It's Craig McMaster, James Dawson that took the win from the very fast finishing Scott Ado, Dylan Carney. I don't think he made it. I think it still stayed in Stan Ross and Chris Leedon's hand, that second place. But we'll confirm that for you. And fourth place going to the 54 of Bevan Nuttridge and Carl Foster. Right, Sidecars round 1, Heat 5, Southern Bolts and Fasteners. Nathan Ching, Shay McWilliam from Nelson are into Gate 1 on that 8th bike. The 73 of Lionel Green and Shane Breach, no strangers to Oreti Park. They've had a fairly hectic couple of days trying to get this bike sorted, Warwick, to front up here on the line today. Then the 1NZ, Richard and Alistair Horn from Palmerston North in Gate 3, the 1NZ. These are the guys that are defending the title. And then the 7N of Knuckle Hill and Sean Solly from Nelson. Tapes go. Oh, there was a bit of a jump. Away they go. It's Lionel Green and Shane Breach that are the first ones down the turn. Then we've got the 8 bike, was it, of Nathan Ching in second place. They've been overhauled. Well, there's a red flag out. We've got I think it was a bit of a start.
A bit of a dissatisfactory start there, I think.
Unsatisfactory start, whatever. Yes, dissatisfactory. That's a new word for
well,
it.
it was, you know.
But anyway, I'm not too sure what's going to happen here. I think they're all in. They are all in. It was just deemed that there was a bit of an unfair start. Lionel Green, Shane Breach were trying to read the tape. They actually jumped before the tapes moved, but they were very, very lucky not to break the tape.
I think that's the point. That was
the 8 bike on the inside.
Unsatisfactory, but disappointing.
Nathan Ching and Shane McWilliams sort of hesitated on the line. They didn't really get a fair start as it was deemed by the officials. So up they come. They line up once again. This time the tapes are up and away they go. It's the 1NZ bike that got a pretty good start this time. Down into the turn they go. Then we've got the 73 bike, Lionel Green and Shane Breach are back there in that third place. That blue machine of Nathan Ching and Shane McWilliams putting a bit of pressure on the 1NZ of Richard Horn as they come through here. Lionel Green, Shane Breach still in that third place. The 7N of Knuckle Hill and Sean Solly back there in that fourth position. But out in front, Richard and Alistair Horn lead the way. But Nathan Ching and Shane McWilliams are putting a wee bit of pressure on Lionel Green. Shane Breach is still there in that third position. Through they come once again.
Yes, they've gone. They've got 2 or 3 bike lengths. They're just slightly increasing a little bit over Ching as he has to struggle with that turn. Shane McWilliam doing the swinging. They've closed up a fraction now. Lionel Green, Shane Breach still holding the third, and Knuckle Hill and Sean Solly just round out the field. Oh, the New Zealand champions went a little bit wider coming out of that Sev right turn there, and they lost a wee bit. They've swung wide again, and Ching closes up as they run into the Newfield Autos turn for the last time in this one. New Zealand champions, Richard and Alistair Horn just coming out along the wall. They take the win from 8. Nathan Ching and Shay Williams. Third place is the 73 of Lionel Green and Shane Breach, and 7 Knuckle Hill and Sean Solly round out the field.
Well,
but certainly the New Zealand champions have got some pace there, Pete. But they were also swinging rather close to those walls coming out of the turn. I'm sure they'll get that right.
Okay, folks, here we are again at the 2016 New Zealand Sidecar Championships at Oreti Park, and a man that sort of knows what it's like to get into the top 16 or so was this man here, 16i Jason Harper. Now, Jason, you know, this is home track. This has got to be some sort of advantage for you.
Oh, definitely. The way the tracks have been this year, sort of have a great setup of your bike. You know which way the track's going to go. You can set your bike up. You have a bit of a book of what's been going on. So no, it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. Having that advantage over some of these bikes is actually quite the advantage.
Now, of course, if we go back a couple of seasons ago, you were at, I believe, Rapuna Speedway. You got into the final, and I believe the old bike had a bit of an issue, was it?
Yeah, $3 part, the old joining link at the chain let go, and that was my day's in. So just hope I've checked it twice today, and I'll check it after every race today. So no, hopefully I don't have that omen again.
Now, you've had a couple of runs on the bike, Jace, out there with the practice and stuff. How did it feel?
Great. I did a big change to my front end, and I was searching for something and I found it. So I'm actually really confident, really happy. So just bring the day on.
Okay, so top 16 is what you're aiming for. It doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you get there?
No, as long as I'm in that top 16, because tomorrow's another day. Tomorrow's a new track, another day. So yeah.
Okay, sponsors, look after you, Jace. Who are they?
Shelley Clark, Equine Pet Laundry, J Harper Contracting, Tower Lodge Motels, Insignia Signs, Total Conveyors, Southern Bolts and Fasteners. They always look. Winter Motorcycles are a great help. They're been with me for a long time as well. And yeah, Reedy Park.
At Hamner Holiday Homes, they pride themselves on offering accommodation solutions to suit almost any budget. Only a short 95 minutes from Christchurch, tucked away beneath the mountains, is Hamner Springs, a nature's wonderland. Whether you're looking for a home the whole family can enjoy, have a barbecue and let the children play free, or a quiet hideaway for two in a peaceful retreat, from the larger house to the small, Hamner Holiday Homes offer it all. HamnerHolidayHomes.com. Book now.
It's mag wheel sale time at Mag and Turbo. We've got 14-inch mags for $99, 15-inch mags $129, and 17-inch mags from $169. Finance is available, but only from Mag and Turbo.
Hi, I'm Scott Williamson, and welcome to X Factor Cars. Family owned and operated with 2 locations, Invercargill and Cromwell. Specialising in everything V8 from Holden Ford, HSV, FPV, and with Southland's biggest selection of American muscle, we've got most bases covered. You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Get the X Factor.
Want a great night out for all the family? Want great value? Need excitement? Need action, thrills, speed and spills? Then you need to be at your local Speedway's next race meeting. It's got it all! Speedway, the entertainment sport.
I'll just see them coming in. Jason Harper, Mark George on 1. Paul Anderson, Nick Case Gate 2, Clint Warwood, Sonia Duncan. Gate 3, and on the outside, Derek and Matthew Ramsey, father and son team. On 4 on the 6 bike. The revs build as they get going, and off they go. And it's a good start from Clint Warwood and Sonia Duncan, but matched pretty well from the inside by Jason Harper and Mark George. But there goes the Ramseys. Derek and Matthew Ramsey have just found a hole and have come on through. They're out in front of the field. 16, Harper and George holding that second position with the 28 of Paul Anderson and Nick Case in third, with Warwood and Sonia Duncan just rounding out the field. They've stretched themselves out on this one. Derek Ramsey doing the piloting. Son Matthew sitting on the side there from Palmerston North just leads them through. Jason Harper, Mark George from Oreti holding that second position, and it looks like we might be having a battle for the third place, Pete, from Paul Anderson and Clint Warwood.
So make no bones about it, Derek and Matthew Ramsey, they're going to get the white flag this time through as they head back down into turns 1 and 2. Jason Harper, Mark George through the Rogers Yamaha turn they go in that second position. The 98 of Clint Warwood, Sonia Duncan coming under a wee bit of pressure from Paul Anderson in Nick's Case for that third position, but they lost a little bit of ground coming out of turn 4, so it looks like Clint Warwood, Sonia Duncan are going to hold that third place. Make no bones about the winner though. Derek and Matthew Ramsey from Palmerston North take it out with Jason Harper and Mark George flying the Oreti flag there in second spot. Third place went to Clint Warwood and Sonia Duncan from Ruapuna, and fourth place going to Paul Anderson and Nick Case, also from Ruapuna.
Oh, just as we get them all psyched up to give us some race times, they didn't do that one. Not one, but 2, Pete. Oh, it's only qualifying day. We'll get it right. I'll have to write in here an NT. They shouldn't have started that, should they? Never mind. It's been a fun between the girls. Right, we're moving on to the Southern Bolts and Fasteners Sidecars. Round 1, this is heat number 7. And down on gate 1 from Oreti Park, it's Fraser and Johnny Gillespie. Riding as 39 today is the 29 bike from Christchurch, but it's 39. Jason Riley and Brandon, that's a father and son combination from gate 2. Well, it's pretty good. He's got all these 3 here for you, Pete, all the same names. Wayne, Bryce and Damien Bryce on the 18 on gate 3, and 48 Sean Kerr and Robin Poole from Oreti on the outside. All yours.
Tapes are ready to go. Up they go and away they go. Sean Kerr, Robin Poole from the outside got away pretty smartly along with Fraser and Johnny Gillespie sitting there in that second place. Third place, Jason and Brandon Riley at the moment. And fourth place is Wayne Bryce and Damien Bryce as they head down into turns 3 and 4. Sean Kerr, Robin Poole with Fraser and Johnny Gillespie, a couple of 3 bike lengths behind him. Then the 29 bike of Jason and Brandon Riley sitting there in that third place. Fraser and Johnny Gillespie close up a little bit on Sean Kerr and Robin Poole as they head through that Newfield Autos turn and come back down through the main straight here. And it looks like the 18 bike of Wayne and Damien Bryce putting a bit of a pressure on Jason and Brandon Riley for that third position.
Fraser Gillespie's got through though. He chased them hard. He tightened up the last turn. He pulled underneath the Sean Kerr and Robin Poole. So it's the Gillespies on bike 11 around in front. 48 Sean Kerr, Robin Poole in that second position, and then it's the Bryce team holding third over the Rileys. But down the extreme carts back straight for the last time. A great fight from behind for the 11 pilot. Fraser and Johnny Gillespie taking the win over 48 Sean Kerr and Robin Poole. Third place will be the Bryces. Wayne and Damien from Christchurch, followed home by the Rileys, Jason and Brandon. So it was a good fight there. Sean Kerr, Robin Poole sitting mid-track. Fraser and Johnny Gillespie. Well, Fraser tightened it up and came through there on the inside and powered through the straight and managed to have some momentum to tuck down low and pick that win. And his race time was 72 seconds.
So a good ride there from Fraser and Johnny Gillespie, all right. The fans on the other side of the track looking pretty excited about that.
Well, you have to say it was a little bit, how should we say, it was a bit unexpected because they had, Sean Kerr and Robin Paul had quite a reasonable lead there at the stage, but as we said earlier, some of the boys are sitting out a little bit higher on the track, and Fraser found some drive lower down and managed to do the business.
Right, fronting up in Heat 8 for the sidecars. The Southern Bolts and Fasteners sidecar qualifying here. Ben Morris and John Erskine from Moore Park on the 53 bike, gate 1. Irwin and Tree, Nigel Cookow, the 95 bike, gate 2. 21P, Glenn Murray and Ann Plummer from Palmerston North. And Luke Twaits, Neville Chalmers, gate 4.
Racing this time, and off they go. And who's it going to be? Irwin Tree's got the jump on the inside, being powered round by the outer. Plumbers in the second. Then we go back to it as Luke Thwaites, Neville Chalmers holding that second position there as Plumbers drop back to Glenn Murray and Ann Plummer drop back to third. But it's Irwin Tree, Nigel Cookout leading the way. Luke Thwaites, Neville Chalmers doing the swinging on the side. Sit in that second position from Glenn Murray and Ann Plummer. She's got to do a little bit of work there. Dropping off the pace is Ben Morris and John Erskine early on, but it's Irwin Tree.
Irwin Tree, Nigel Cookow with a 3 or 4 bike length lead now over the 29 of Luke Twaits and Neville Chalmers as they come out of that Permacoat roofing turn. Glenn Murray and Plummer still there in that third place, and just falling off the pace there, Ben Morris and John Erskine. So through they come, 1 lap left to go. Still Irwin Tree and Nigel Cookow over the 29 bike of Luke Twaits and Neville Chalmers past that Sono Sound System sign in the back straight they go. Irwin Tree, Nigel Cookow look to be heading for the checkered flag. They'll take the win from the 29 of Luke Twaits and Neville Chalmers. The 21 of Glenn Murray and Ann Plummer from Palmerston North fill that third position, and 4th place going to the 53 bike of Ben Morris and John Erskine from Moore Park. Well, a great ride from Irwin Tree and Nigel Cookow holding out Luke Twaits and Neville Chalmers on that 29 bike, who came in second place, and 3rd place from Palmerston North, Glenn Murray and Ann Plummer.
The time was 73, was that 0.79? Oh, we've even got the points now. We're getting good. 73.79.
Right, Southern Bolts and Fasteners, Heat 9. Kevin McDonald, Carl Hosey from Oreti in gate 1. Ricky Kane, Broden Johnson from Australia, the 86 bike, gate 2. Aidan Twaits, Shane Twist from Oreti, the guys that are going to go to Gilman in South Australia to compete in the World Sidecar Champs, fronting up here in gate 3 on that 58 bike. And then the 77 bike of Tony Hislop on Mitch Byers from Palmerston North will be in gate 4.
Well, just a bit of change from the pilot there. Aidan Twaits says, no, you've done the wrong rut, mate. I want the other one.
So
just waiting for McDonald to come in. Hislop's ready on the outside. Joe Hughes, yep, they're ready. Yours, Pete.
Tapes go, away they go. The 58 of Aidan Twaits and Neville Chalmers got away pretty smartly, but down there it was Ricky Kane and Broden Johnson that were sitting in that second place. Kev McDonald, Carl Hosey, get a lot of drive as they come out of there. They're sitting in second. Broden Kane and Ricky Johnson get it all wrong. And through they're out in the infield. So the 77 bike of Tony Hislop and Mitch Byers sitting there in third. So out in front, it's Aidan Twaits, Shane Twist leading the way from Kevin McDonald, Carl Hosey, and then Tony Hislop and Mitch Byers from Palmerston North sitting in that third position. Through they come once again. Still Aidan Twaits and Shane Twist sitting in that first position. Through that Permacoat roofing turn they go. They keep it up and about the middle of the track. Kevin McDonald, Carl Hosey gain a little bit of ground as they head down into that ILT Foundation turn. Through they come once again. It's still Aidan Twaits, Shane Twist from Kevin McDonald, Carl Hosey, and the third place is still Tony Hislop and Mitch Byers from Palmerston North on that 77 bike. So down into the Newfield Autos turn they go for the final time. Aidan Twaits, Shane Twist. They'll take the checkered flag. Second place will go to Kevin McDonald, Carl Hosey. And third place will go to the 77 of Tony Hislop and Mitch Byers. Unfortunately, Ricky Kane and Bowden Johnson having a wee excursion into the infield down there in turn 3.
Well, they had a good start. We're just looking at it on the Southern Bolts and Fasteners replay. If they let them go, we'll just check out, see if they picked up what happened there. That they had a good run. 73.58's the time, 73.58. So they're just getting through the corner. They just led them through. Big move round the outside by Thwaites, and then it flicked away.
So the Southern Bolts and Fasteners replay. We've just had a wee view of that. We just didn't quite pick up the last bit of that. Nevertheless, here we go. We're watching it again now.
It just got a little bit out of shape, came on the infield, hit a bit of a drainage rut there, so they were certainly lucky, very lucky indeed, to stay upright.
Right, Sidecars, round 1, heat 10, the Southern Bolts and Fasteners New Zealand Sidecar Champs qualifying. Sam Satherley and Tony McKenzie from Nelson, they're in gate 1 on the 64 bike. Tim Plummer and Sean Plummer from Rosebank on the 71 bike are in gate 2. The 47 bike from Nelson, 80 Drake and Kieran Satherley are gate 3, and the 3NZ bike of Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox from Moore Park are on the outside here in gate 4.
Yes, Buchanan and Cox, the current South Island champions, who won that at Moore Park. For a battle there with some of your Oreti boys. They're on this one, right on the outside as we set them alight. And it is Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox got a flyer from that one. They've scorched out ahead of the field already. 80 Drake, Kieran Satherley from Nelson holding that second position. And then we go back, I think it is, to Sam Satherley and Tony McKenzie on the black bike in the third spot. That's the 64, and just trying to round them up as this Tim and Cyan Plummer from Rosebank just tucked in behind. But the first two have stretched it out. A lot of clean air between both of these. 3NZ, Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox just coming on through here. 47, 80 Drake, Kieran Satherley in that second position. And it's the Tim and Cyan Plummer have managed to get round Sam Satherley and Tony McKenzie for that third spot. But the white flag's coming out, Pete. Not a lot on this one. Very well spread.
Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox, Jeff, definitely showing their style and class here. Over 80 Drake and Kieran Satherley still sitting in that second position. Third place is Tim Plummer and Sean Plummer from Rosebank. And fourth place, Sam Satherley and Tony McKenzie from Nelson on that 64 bike. But take nothing away from the winner, Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox. They did it, and they did it in style, Warwick, as they come through here in first place. 80 Drake and Kieran Satherley in that second position. Third place, Tim and Sian Plummer from Rosebank. And fourth place there was the 64 bike of Sam Satherley and Tony McKenzie from Nelson.
73.42 was the winning time for 3, Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox.
So, fantastic ride there from Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox. Blistering start. Absolutely
it was.
blistering.
Yep, they just shot away. It's a feature of the only one he got wrong was at that South Island Champs when he let your man Sean Kerr and Robin Poole beat him. And then I was talking to Andrew about that before, and he said, "Yep, I have to hand it to them." He said they did beat him there, but normally Andrew and Denny are lightning quick away from the tape.
They just seem to be able to read it, Warwick. They're absolutely magic to watch. They're a fantastic combination, actually. It's a treat to see. It really is. Right, Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat. They're lining up here in gate 2 on the 24 bike for Oreti. Then we've got Corey Lang and Gus Elliott from Christchurch on that 70 from Moore Park on that 74 bike. Actually, it's a 24, but racing under 74 today. And the 78 bike from Palmerston North, Paul Humphrey and Pat Larson out here in gate 4. So Southern Bolts and Fasteners, Heat 11 of the qualifying for the New Zealand Sidecars. Who's going to get the best of it here? Tapes going, away they go. Looks like Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat got away pretty good, but they're doing a bit of battle there with Paul Humphreys and Patrick Larson. Oh, Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat get it all wrong. They twist it up a bit. Corey Lang, Gus Elliott go up into second place. Out in front, Paul Humphreys, Pat Larson. Second place, Corey Lang, Gus Elliott. Third place, Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat. Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat trying to make up that bit of lost ground and that little bit of a misdemeanor they made as they come out of that Newfield Autos turn. They've done it. They've regained second place as they head down past the Scarecrow gardening sign and down into the E. Hayes and Sons turn they go. It's Paul Humphrey, Pat Larson leading away from the 24 of Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat as they go through once again. Corey Lang and Gus Elliott are hot on the tail of Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat as they go down into turns 3 and 4 once again.
Paul Humphreys, Patrick Larson, they picked the white flag up. They've just got one to go. Sharp's now coming under pressure from Corey Lang. Brad Sharp, Lance Jeffcoat. The Corey Lang, Gus Elliott close up a little bit as they go into the last turn as this race comes to an end, but it's Paul Humphrey, Patrick Larson who's got the win. It'll be Brad Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat who hold on to the second position from the 74. You've got to remember the number change. 74 Corey Lang and Gus Elliott. But a good one there to 78 Paul Humphreys. Bradley Sharp and Lance Jeffcoat did very, very well to stay on the track as you saw them drop back to the tail of the field and regained it to get that second place. Third home, Corey Lang, Gus Elliott, and I'll just get the time of 73.23. 73.23. So Lionel Green, James Breach, first one's up to the line. Tony Hislop, Mitch Byers on gate 3, Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox from 2. The Pink Ladies, Claire Hartnell, Tracy Davidson on the outside on gate 4. They're looking across the Revs building, off they go again, and it's Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox who get the jump into the first turn, followed by Lionel Green and Shane Breach. Tony Hislop, Mitch Byers just drifted out a little bit wide and let the girls through. Claire Hartnell, Tracy Davison pop up into that third position, but pulling away already is Andrew Buchanan and Denny Cox. They've got about 4 or 5 bike lengths over Lionel Green and Shane Breach. The girls are holding their own in the third position at the moment. Tony Hislop, Mitch Byers just chasing them along, but as they come through into this front straight again through the Arrow Upholstery start-finish line, it's Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox just dictating the way, Pete. They've got such a good lead over Lionel Green and Shea Breach. Oh, the ladies have got it all crossed up. They managed to get back together. Tony Hislop just wasn't quite close enough to make the pass.
So Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox carry on with their winning ways. They've got 15 or 20 bike lengths over the 73 of Lionel Green and Shane Breach as they come out of turns 1 and 2 for the final time. Claire Hartnell, Tracy Davison just get it a little bit twisted up as they come out of that Newfield Autos turn as well, which let Tony Hislop and Mitch Byers slip up into that third position. They fight back as they come down to the line and they'll take third place after a bit of a slip from Tony Hislop and Mitch Byers as well. But let's get back to the start of it, or the finish of it if you like. Andrew Buchanan, Denny Cox, they take that first place. Second place was Lionel Green and Shane Breach on that 73 bike. Third place after a few mistakes between the two of them, Claire Hartnell, Tracy Davison, Tony Hislop and Mitch Byers. It was Claire Hartnell and Tracy Davison that came out the winners in third place. Southern Bolts and Fasteners, Sidecars round 2, heat 2. The 26A, Pete Adams and Jason Hera from Rosebank will be in gate 1. The 6P bike, Derek Ramsey and Matthew Ramsey from Palmerston North, gate 2. Gate 3, Knuckle Hill and Sean Solly from Nelson on the 7 bike, and another Nelson combination, the 47, 80 Drake and Kieran Southerly lined up here. Tapes go, away they go. It's the 6 bike. Oh, there's a bit of a coming together as they go in there. Knuckle Hill, Sean Solly had a bit of a dust up there with 80 Drake, Kieran Satherley, but no bones about it. It's Peter Adams and Jason Hera from Rosebank that have shot to the front once again as they come through the Seabright panelling plate. Turn out through they come. It's the 6 bike of Derek Ramsey and Matthew Ramsey sitting in that second place. Third place is 80 Drake and Kieran Satherley is it in third place, and fourth place is Knuckle Hill and Sean Solly.
Other way around.
Other
way round, I think it is.
Two green bikes and mixed up, but nevertheless.
Anyway,
85.
they go through, and it's these boys. They get the checkbooks out, boys. I think you like this bike. Peter Adams, Jason Herrera from Rosebank just leading the way, but they're coming under the cosh from Derek and Matthew Ramsey. They're on their tail now. They've drifted out a wee bit wide. Ramsey said, oh, the door's open. Thank you very much. I'll take that as the white flag comes out with 1 to go. Derek and Matthew Ramsey lead the way. Peter Adams, Jason Herrera in that second spot as they go down the back straight. Talking Heads turn for the last time. Third place still being held by Knuckle Hill and Sean Solly, but he's drifted wide. Home first Ramsey, second Adams. Third place was 47, 80 Drake, Kieran Satherley from Nelson, and Knuckle Hill and Sean Solly round out the field. So Derek and Matthew Ramsey just timed that to perfection. Just a little bit of an error there by Peter Adams and Jason Herrera, who went a wee bit wide, just opened up the door. Same thing for Knuckle Hill when he was in that third position, and that allowed the 47 of 80 Drake and Kieran Satherley to come on through. We have a race time of 75.72, 75.72.
Rightio, Heat 3, Round 2 for the Southern Bolts and Fasteners New Zealand Sidecar Champs qualifying. Luke Thwaites, Neville Chalmers, Gate 1, the 29 bike. Craig McMaster, James Dawson, the 43 bike from Oreti, they're in Gate 2. From Nelson, Sam Satherley and Tony McKenzie on the 64 bike will be in Gate 3. And from Christchurch, from Ruapuna, Clint Warwood and Sonia Duncan on the 98 bike out here in Gate 4.
Well, they're lined up in front of the Arrow Pulsey start-finish. The revs build. Who's it going to be? They're pretty even from the start. It looks like it's Craig McMaster and James Dawson got away to a good start, but they're matched on the inside by Luke Thwaites and Neville Chalmers. A drag race down the back straight, even as it is, but it looks like it's McMaster and Dawson who've got in front, but they've drifted out wide. Tightening up the turn is Thwaites and Chalmers, but they just have to slot in behind. Craig McMaster, James Dawson just leading the way from Luke Thwaites, Neville Chalmers. Third place goes back to Clint Warwood and Sonia Duncan from Ruapuna, but stamping his mark on it at the moment. Craig McMaster and James Dawson opting for a midline run through that Sev right turn and keeping up the momentum. Luke Thwaites, Neville Chalmers still in that second position from Clint Warwood and Sonia Duncan.
So there they come down into the South Coast Customs turn once again. Craig McMaster, James Dawson keeping into the middle of the track along with Luke Thwaites, Neville Chalmers sitting there in second place. Clint Warwood, Sonia Duncan still there in that third position, and the 64 of Sam Satherley and Tony McKenzie from Nelson around them out in that fourth place. They've spread themselves out fairly wide and far here now, but Craig McMaster, James Dawson, they'll take the win from Luke Thwaites and Neville Chalmers on that 29 bike. Then the 98 bike of Clint Warwood and Sonia Duncan fill that third position, and fourth place going to the 64 from Nelson, Sam Satherley and Tony McKenzie. Well, great ride from Craig McMaster, James Dawson. Had a bit of pressure put on them early from Luke Thwaites and Neville Chalmers, but they held them off and managed to open it up a little and maintain that consistent lead.
Next heat out, Sidecars, round 2, heat number 4, Southern Bolts and Fasteners Sidecar Championship. Stan Ross, Chris Leedon starting from gate 1 on bike 84. 48, Sean Kerr, Robin Poole, they're there from Oreti on bike 48. 28, Paul Anderson, Nick Case from Ruapuna on gate 3. And 14, Jamie Moore and Stephen Thompson on gate 4 from Kiki. Well,
Oh, tapes go away, they go. Sean Kerr, Robin Poole from the middle got away fairly smartly. Stan Ross, Chris Leedon were in there amongst it as well. And then we had Paul Anderson, Nick Case that were back there in fourth place. So in the middle we had Jamie Moore and Stephen Thomason from Kihiki. Through they come, Sean Kerr, Robin Poole, Stan Ross, Chris Leedon. Then the 14 bike from Kihiki of Jamie Moore and Steve Thomason still there in that third position. But look at Sean Kerr, Robin Poole. They open it up as they head past that total conveyors sign and come past through the E. Hayes and Sons turn now. Out in front from Stan Ross, Chris Leedon. Out a bit wider, Jamie Moore and Steve Thomason. Try to get round the outside of Stan Ross, Chris Leedon. They pull out with a bike length in front of them now as they head down that back straight and back down into turns 3 and 4.
Yes, as they swing on home, Sean Kerr, Robin Poole picked the white flag up, a comfortable lead so far. Jamie Moore and Stephen Thomason have done particularly well to reel in that much ground. They've got ahead of Stan Ross and Chris Leedon, but into the right turn for the last time. 48, Sean Kerr, Robin Poole, they'll pick up this heat win from 14. Jamie Moore and Stephen Thomason in third place. Your locals, Stan Ross and Chris Leedon, with the 28 bike of Paul Anderson and Nick Case rounding out the field. So a good battle there early on. Perhaps the fight was for the second position, which Jamie Moore managed to get round. Stan Ross and Chris Leedon. 71.65. 71.65. Well, that's a pretty quick time.
Right. Heat 5 of the Southern Bolts and Fasters, round 2. New Zealand Sidecar Champs qualifying. Aidan Twaits, Shane Twist from Oreti, the 58 bike in gate 1. Mike Warwood and Stephen Burrow from Moore Park on the 96 bike, gate 2. The 53 bike, Ben Morris and John Erskine from Moore Park are in gate 3. And Fraser and Johnny Gillespie on the 11 bike are in gate 4. So there's a couple of Moore Park boys in here against the Oreti boys, Warwick.
Yes, they've got them sandwiched in the middle. So, Aidan Thwaite, Shane Twist down on 1. Fraser and Johnny Gillespie on the outside on 4. Warwood, Burrow, Morris, Erskine in the middle. Off they go, and it's Aidan Thwaites who got the start on the inside. Fraser and Johnny Gillespie, they lifted the front wheel. They've gone well out wide, trying to pick some drive up. They're in last place at the moment. They now move into third. Now they've gone back to fourth. Now they're up to third. As we look at them round here, they're pairing round the outside, going to make a challenge. They get the third position, while out in front it's Aidan Thwaites.
Second.
And Shane Twist leading around. But then all of a sudden we find the pressure's on from Mike Warwood and Stephen Burrow, and the Gillespies got round them, moving up into second. Now it's catch up. We've lost the 53. Ben Morris, John Erskine have come infield, but Aidan Thwaites, Shane Twist, one of the combinations to represent the New Zealand team later on in the year, showing some fine form here in this one. Fraser and Johnny Gillespie in that second from the 96 Mike Warwood and Stephen Burrow.
Well, Aidan Twaite, Shane Twist from Fraser and Johnny Gillespie as they head down into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Mike Warwood, Stephen Burrows there in that third place. Aidan Twaits and Shane Twist will take the win from Fraser and Johnny Gillespie. Then third place, Mike Warwood and Stephen Burrows.